19th. I'm gonna give a little tour, garden tour update. So these I bought at MacArthur's nursery, and they were supposed to be straight 8s, but they actually turned out to be pickling cucumbers. They haven't really produced very much at all. Lots of flowers. So yeah, kind of disappointed in these guys. And my hot Portugal peppers actually are doing really awesome. So I'm happy with how they're producing. In ground, way better than in the container. So I'll know next year I'm gonna put my peppers straight into the ground. These guys over here, I have 3 burpless and 1 pickling. So the burpless I bought at MacArthur's, and they actually produce really well this year. So I'm happy with those guys. The pickling I planted myself, and they did amazing. This here's a pickling, and over there is a pickling that I planted, and they were my best producers by far for cucumbers. There's still lots of season left, but we were getting really cold temperatures in the last few days overnight. Like it felt like 6 degrees Celsius this morning, and my plants have kind of like halted on production, so I'm hoping we get a little bit warmer temperatures. It feels way too early for these temperatures, but I'm sure they won't last forever. I'm pretty sure we'll get some more warm weather here before the fall comes. Yellow beans. So what's kind of funny is that this whole trellis is supposed to be yellow beans. And before I put up my windbreak, I was new to this garden this year, and I didn't realize how windy it was here. And the wind kept taking out my beans, and I had planted the beans myself, and well, I just ran out of beans. So I had one pole over here that was free, so I thought, well, I'll throw pickling cucumber there. And let me just back up. As you can see, it's basically taken over the whole trellis, which is fine. Beans also, they take nitrogen from the air and bring it into the ground. So I think that's why this guy did so well, because it had so much extra nitrogen from the beans. But my yellow beans, they are producing, but I haven't really gotten a harvest off of them yet. So I've got lots of, they're just not yellow yet. They're not ready yet, but I will get a little bit of a harvest from them. My purple beans, these I also planted myself from seed. They're doing amazing. I've been getting quite a bit of harvest off of them. Not as great as they could be, for sure. Next year, I think I'm going to try a Florida weave. My brother did that this year, and his turned out amazing. So I'm going to try the Florida weave for my beans next year. And I really do like the TP trellis for the cucumbers, so I will keep doing that. Cayenne peppers over here just started producing, so I'm not really sure what kind of harvest I'm going to get out of these guys this year. I'll get a few, but again, they're in containers, small containers at that. And so yeah, next year, all peppers in their own beds in the ground. My potatoes, they reached maturity on August 12th. So at this point, any extra days is just bonuses. So I'm getting a little bit of dieback now, which is normal. So these guys will completely die back. The leaves turn brown, and then I'll leave them in the ground for 1 more week. Then my potatoes will be ready to be harvested. Scotia tomatoes. I'm super impressed with them. They're a determinate tomato. So they don't get as tall as my early girls back there. But they produce way more than my early girls. My early girls are doing okay, for sure, but I've already grabbed quite a few tomatoes off of these Scotias, and look, they still have so many more. Actually, I have a few that I can pick now. I pick my tomatoes when they just first start to blush here, and because they're not going to get any bigger, and it lessens the chance of them cracking or of birds and other animals, pests or whatever, eating them, and they'll just ripen on my counter. So that's what I do, and it doesn't affect the flavor at all, as long as they've started to turn a little bit pink or red, like you can see there. Anyways, so Scotias, super impressed. I will definitely plant Scotias again next year. Really happy with their production, and they were so easy to maintain. You don't have to prune these guys at all because they're determinate. You didn't have to remove any suckers or anything like that. My basil is doing great. I've got so much basil. I'm dehydrating some in the house at the moment. Early girls. So this, I don't know if you guys remember earlier in the season, I did an experiment where I have 4 early girls in the ground, and I pinched off the flowers off of 3 of them and left the flowers on 1 of them, to see how. It was an experiment, basically. So people were always saying, don't pinch off the flowers off of your tomatoes, but I also heard if they were less than 12 inches tall, you should pinch off the flowers so that way the roots can get more established before they start producing. Well, as you can see, this is all the tomatoes that I got off of this one. So there's 3, and there's 1 down there, 4 tomatoes, and very short. It does have a few flowers here that might turn into tomatoes. I'm not sure. We'll see. But then compared to these 3 that I did pinch off the flowers, you can see way more tomatoes and a lot taller. So I did the Florida weave here with these indeterminate tomatoes, the early girls, and that worked out really well. So I'm going to do that again next year. And I didn't pinch off any suckers except for the bottom suckers when they were first started growing. So when I got my first flower cluster, I pinched off any suckers that were below that first flower cluster, and then I left the rest. And as you can see, they have lots of airflow. They're not overcrowded at all. So I really do like that method. I'm going to try that again next year. I don't know if I'll do early girls next year. I might try this celebrities. My brother planted those last year, and they were really great. And he didn't plant them this year, and he regretted that. So I might try that. I have a habanero pepper plant here. It was rather stunted at the beginning of the year. I wasn't sure if I was going to get anything out of her, but I am getting a little bit of production. So we'll see. I've got lots of flowers, a few little peppers starting. So we'll see what happens. If we can get some more warmer temperatures, they will do just fine. Hopefully this little cold snap isn't going to last very long. I've got one Roma tomato plant over here. She's doing okay. I think she also is behind, but we'll see what happens. Lots of tomatoes on there, all still pretty small and very green, so we'll see what happens there. And I have another Scotia here, which again is doing awesome. So super impressed with the Scotias. Impressed with everything, really. Tomatoes I put in the containers, not so great. Won't do that again next year. I think next year I'm going to save containers just for flowers, for pollinators. I don't think I'm going to put any vegetables, maybe some herbs and stuff. I've got oregano and summer savory over there in containers that are doing okay. And my strawberries are doing okay. But again, they would be doing much better in the ground. So that's my garden update. Lots of marigolds. Nasturtiums are doing well. Basil's doing amazing. Yeah, that's about it. I almost forgot my grapes. So they're doing good. They haven't really grown much like the grapes themselves. Lots of new leaves and stuff like that have been coming out. We haven't been getting a lot of water, so I'm assuming that's why, or I'm not really sure if this is a normal process of them, but they seem to be just staying this size, which is about like, well, my hands are full, so I can't really. I'm about to go inside. But anyways, really good, smaller than a small marble size. So, and they seem to be staying that way, but they look healthy. So we'll just kind of continue to monitor them and see how they go. My system for supporting them has held up, which I'm happy about. Okay, see you later.